Hello and welcome to episode 2 of Pods by Tam. I'm so excited to be with you today. I'm going to be talking about one of my favorite topics, and it starts with the question, are you well? So we'll get to that in a moment. But Pods by Tam is a platform created with one purpose and one purpose only, and that is to enrich your lives with wellness strategy, with tools that guide you in your transformation, because I believe transformation is forever available to you. There's a scripture in the Bible that says, I have begun a good work in you. I will continue it till completion at the day of Jesus Christ. If the Lord himself said he is transforming us from the inside, then who are we to believe anything other than we are forever changing? Sometimes we can so easily just give up on the journey and believe this is it. What you see is what you get. What I've struggled with, I will struggle with forever. But I'm telling you now that your struggle is going to change when you see what is in your control, and when you see also and are reminded that you serve a God that is constantly going the extra mile for you. What seems impossible to you is possible to him, and he wants to do a good work inside of you. So starting off, are you well? It's a loaded question. How do we decide? How do we tell? By what parameters do we go? Is it our happiness? Have we diminished our whole life to, are you happy? Are you not? I believe when you get healthier, you get happier, yes, but that is not the measure for a good life. It is not the measure for a good life. So I want you to believe in something broader than that, and I want you to also trust the desires inside of you. Sometimes we actually just neglect them. We just put them out of sight, out of mind, our dreams and desires. I trust more than anything the desires that I had in me when I was just a small child, when I was a young girl, before I was tainted, before I had trust issues, before I was affected by the world, before I built some walls around me. But I've gone back to nurture the journey and the beliefs of that 10-year-old girl, and I've gone on a journey of transformation to de-layer some of those walls and actually go, how do I bring an authentic me to this world? I've also watched others do the same, and one thing I can truly say is everything that makes me healthy and everything that makes me happy is available to you. There is no immunity. None of us is better than the other. We've just got to apply the diligence, the intentionality, and the strategy in order to bring those desires back to life and close that gap between us and our ideal self. So the question, are you well? We're going to go through some strategy today to guide you to go, how well am I actually? And that's not going to leave you feeling defeated at all. It's going to leave you feeling fully aware and fully believing that you, with this strategy, are able to change that, to change the narrative of your mind, to change the belief for your future, and change the way that you look at your everyday and what is available to you. Okay, first up, I got this image of juggling. Okay, now if I went to juggle, it would just be a hot mess. Okay, there would just be balls flying everywhere. And I think as women, sometimes we are just juggling so much. For me, it's juggling a marriage, so the role of being a wife, juggling a business, juggling showing up for myself and my physical fitness, juggling preparing my own nutrition, juggling prioritizing my family, juggling different elements of the roles that I play in the business. And for every single one of you, you know, we love to say we're busy. Let me tell you, everybody is busy. We all feel like we have more to do than we're capable of doing, but I'm telling you now, with strategy, everything changes. So I had this vision of juggling, and then I had this vision of all the balls on the floor, which is realistic what it would look like if I tried to juggle. So sometimes I feel like we can feel like we're trying to juggle so much, but the reality is it's all just a mess. Like everything's neglected, nothing's where it should be, it's overwhelming, and you're not winning anywhere in life. I want you to do a simple task for me, okay? I want you to write down all the roles that you're committed to. Some roles are required from you, like if you're in the covenant of marriage, you're required to be a wife, and there's strategy to be a wonderful, godly wife. If you are a mother, you have a role to nurture that child. And some are taken on like you've committed to them. You've just said, I'm going to show up for this book club. I'm going to be at your dinner club on a Saturday evening. I'm going to be in 4 different community outreach programs. And I want you to write down all the things that you've committed to and go, realistically, do I have capacity for all of this? Because if I'm going to go on a journey of transformation, I need to simplify it as much as possible, create a strong foundation, and then be able to build on that foundation. So I want you to identify the key roles that are your priority in this season, because from the get-go, you're going to look at this strategy and believe that you have more capacity. You're not going to be overwhelmed, and it requires setting boundaries, and boundaries is such a crucial element of creating almost order in your chaotic life. Okay, so those boundaries are going, actually in this season, I'm not available. I had to say no to some things I was committed to over the last few weeks, and it was difficult, and I knew I'd been hanging on them for all too long. I was concerned about offense. I was concerned that people would almost misunderstand my communication of why I could no longer make myself available in that space. But let me tell you, that message just set me free. It's all about just going, actually, I don't have capacity for this in the season. I want to be super focused. I want to be intentional about the things that are my priority, and for that reason I'm going to have to close this door, maybe for a season, maybe forever. But I want you to know that I fully support, love what you do, would love to be there, but it is not in my capacity for now. And I'm telling you now, I've watched people live their lives at a capacity that they can't sustain. And they could have done certain things in their life better if they just went, I'm not able to be a part of this right now. So from the get-go, you should be feeling like you are able to hone in on the roles that you are going to make a priority going forward. And you're going to laser focus there and keep them at front of mind as we go through these dimensions of wellness, because you're going to believe in your transformation. And that's what hope is. Hope is believing things are changing, things are getting better, and the opposite of hope is discouragement. So we want to get discouragement out of the way, because hope is a motivation that keeps burning forever. Motivation comes in waves. It comes, it goes. It comes with a little bit of endorphins. Sometimes it even comes with a little unhealthy snack. Sometimes it comes with an awesome workout. Sometimes with a podcast. But let me tell you, it always goes. But hope is a constant. Hope is a constant source of motivation. It shifts discouragement, and it sets the platform for awesome, radical transformation, which is what I'm believing for in you. So, with that big question, are you well? Okay, we're going to go through 6 of the dimensions of wellness, and I want you to keep that front of mind. As I go through these dimensions, I like to score myself out of 10. I encourage you to do the same if you don't have a very critical lens on yourself, and you're able to just go, for the season that I'm in now, how far am I from where I would like to be? Okay, because when we score ourselves out of 10, the problem is that sometimes we think a 10 is perfection. I have you know, perfection is not available to you. So that ship, it has sailed. It is not the goal, because perfection will keep you forever believing that you are not enough. So let go of perfection and just go, for this season that I'm in now, what do I score myself out of 10 for now? And then you'll realize these numbers are forever changing. Okay, so the first one is physical wellness. So physical wellness is everything about your outer being, right? So it's how you show up for your workout, it's how you move, it's how you nurture your body, it's how you respond to aches, pains, how your body's absorbing stress, and it's also your nutrition. So everything that you nourish your body with. So best you know, so many people get stuck right here. Why? Because it's also a dimension of wellness that encourages a lot of comparison, and until you're able to break away from that comparison cycle, sometimes you're not able to have victory in this area of your life. It also encourages a lot of guilt and shame. Guilt and shame, believing, oh my word, I've pursued this journey time and time again. I haven't gotten victory in this area. It keeps getting worse. As I get older, my metabolism's slowing down. My body's not moving as well, not that well-oiled machine that it used to be. But the reality is that that comparison needs to shift, in order for you to have victory. The shame needs to shift, the guilt needs to shift. So a lot needs to change in your mindset in order for you to overcome in your physical wellness. So my hesitation and my encouragement for you today is, do not diminish your wellness to just your physical wellness. I mean, I did that for years. I was a fitness coach. I was a personal trainer. All I did was help people get fit and strong. But what I realized is they never got their goal, because their goal was to look a specific way, and that came with nutrition. So then I coupled that with nutrition. Fit, strong, eat healthy. Fit, strong, eat healthy. They never got their goal. Why? Because there's so much breakthrough that you need to have in order to have that goal body that is eyes on the prize. It's the focus. It's where you're going. And I'm telling you now, in order to have it and have victory in this area of your life, you need that to move out of the way. It cannot be image-based. Firstly, it might get you there, but it won't keep you there. Secondly, it will create such a toxic cycle of thought that when you actually get there, every single other dimension of wellness has been completely neglected. So get that goal out the way. For me, personally, when it comes to physical wellness, which I love, and I'm so grateful for because it has deeply, deeply enriched my life, I always think about my 80-year-old self. I'm like, how's she going to move? How's she going to feel? How's she going to handle her grandchildren? Is she still going to be able to lay a table and prepare all the food for her loved ones? And I always visualize that self and go, everything you choose to put in now is determining that you're the physical woman that you're going to be with the one body that you have. And every single thing that you choose to consume makes a difference. But for the purpose of today, I want us to shift that out the way, because I know that as women, it's something we've focused on for far too long. So when I say shift it, you take it, you put it on the shelf. You go, either I'm having breakthrough in this area of my life, or I've tried time again. I need to move it out the way and see if focusing on another dimension of wellness might actually equip me with the mindset necessary to have breakthrough there. Does that sound good? Okay, number 2 is emotional wellness. Now, emotional wellness is a very sensitive topic for me because I've spent my life sowing into the lives of women and listening to their stories and listening to their struggles, and I know that this is the dimension, the area of our life that most often takes us out, wipes us out. It comes in waves. It's often outside of our control. We know how to have breakthrough, but our breakthrough is sometimes for a really short period of time, and it's something that some people even fear because they don't know when it's coming. They don't know when their mindset is not going to be able to carry them through the day. I want to encourage you. Mindset and your emotional wellness is like a muscle. It's got to be exercised. You don't wait until you're hanging from a bridge, like obviously a scene from a movie, and you need to get yourself up in order to save yourself, to realize, oh my word, I didn't strengthen my upper body. It's the same with your mindset. You don't wait until your life presents you with something that requires such strength and resilience and sound mind and analytical thinking and go, I didn't prepare myself for this. Because I'm telling you now, your mindset is going to be more difficult to build when you're at rock bottom, when you're stuck on the floor and you're trying to peel yourself up off the floor, than when you are in a good day with an intentional strategy, doing the work to prepare you for what life is going to dish you. I want to encourage you to train your mindset like you would train in every other area of your life. Go before yourself, identify your weaknesses, identify your shortfalls, identify your thought patterns that don't serve you. There's so much biblical truth to guide you into building a solid mindset that I believe that it's something that we are supposed to be continuously working on. So I want to encourage you to look at your mindset and identify, the thing about your mind is, you're the only one who knows. You're the only one who knows how dark it is. or how negative it is, or how toxic it is, or how flawed it is. You're the only one who knows. You're the only one who can pursue the right path for correction. And obviously, if you need help, get help. If you need to get out there and get therapy, get therapy. But I believe there's a thing called preventative therapy, right? Preventative therapy is fitness to avoid illness, right? So preventative therapy for your mindset is actually equipping yourself with information on how the mind works, on how to guard your mind, on how to thought stop, on how to navigate and get yourself out of the rabbit hole of negativity. So I want to encourage you, there is so much content out there, but I've found flawed cycles in my mind and gone, I need to understand where this comes from. And sometimes we think, let me sit with this and understand where it comes from. You can't, because your mindset is not at the place to sort it out from A to Z. So you've got to go get information that enlightens you. And the best time to do that is in a healthy moment, in your morning routine, in your night routine, in a pocket of time in your day. But equip yourself with information that makes you understand yourself better and navigate yourself better, because you will be able to grow in every other dimension of wellness when your mindset's strong. I mean, that's the thing that you really need breakthrough in order to really apply yourself to a physical wellness program. So make sure that you are just aware of how, if I just enhance every area of wellness, it's all going to be enriched together, and I am going to find that satisfied life. Okay, number 3, social wellness. Big one on social wellness, because we live in a world where we are constantly presented with the opportunity of isolation. Scrolling on Instagram, isolation. Watching Netflix, isolation. Avoiding people. Why? Because people are difficult. Well, welcome. People are difficult. We are all unique. We have strong personalities. We have opinions. We have differences. It is beautiful. Can I tell you, there's only one way to get better at being patient with those, with those irritations, with those niggles, with those discomforts with people. There's only one way to get better. Spend a lot of time with people. You build resilience. You're gifted with love. You find compassion. You find kindness. You learn about them. You learn, oh, you're actually more than what you're presenting to me. If I didn't take the time to get to know, I would never be able to find the compassion, the love, and the grace to journey alongside you. Stay for long enough to see everybody gets better together. We all get better together. And you know what? The beautiful thing is, you're so quick to identify the irritants from others, but we're slower to identify it in ourselves. Plot twist, you never identify it in yourself. In isolation, you only identify what needs to change in you when you're constantly in the company of others. I'm gonna do a whole podcast on social wellness because it's something I'm so passionate about. It might even be a series, but I'm telling you now, get into community. It will bring radical speed to your transformation, radical and self-awareness that you need in order to set foot in the right direction. Okay, number 4, intellectual wellness. Oh, I love this so much because I'm like, the mind, it is so much more fascinating than you even believe. It's able to withhold so much more information than you even believe. But I'm telling you now, when you neglect it, it depreciates. It just stops functioning at that full capacity because it desires to be stimulated. It also goes and finds unhealthy alternatives to being stimulated and learning something new and following your curiosity. It will find unhealthy ways of stretching itself, like gossiping and forming opinions of people and placing judgments on people. And it finds a toxic way if it's not stimulated with information. I believe every single one of us desires constant learning. How do I know that? Because we have constant curiosity, we have constant wonder. So if we don't respond to that curiosity, then we are forfeiting the opportunity to learn and stimulate our mind in a direction that actually could lead us to knowing ourselves better and opening the doors of new things that are available to us, right? Because it guides you. Trust yourself, trust your mind, trust your intuition, trust your desires, trust your dreams. Put them under the magnifying glass, because obviously not all of them are wholesome, but the wholesome ones, trust them and follow them. Follow them with diligence. Constantly stimulate your mind. Sometimes we think, finish school, finish varsity, I'm done. Switch off and apply everything I know from here on out. What a dissatisfying life. Constantly pursue the response to all of your curiosity, and I'm telling you now, you'll realize you're more fascinating than you ever knew. Number 5, occupational wellness. This is how you spend your 9 to 5. Do you love it? Are you adding value? Are you fulfilled? Are you stimulated? Are you still growing? Are you complacent? Are you just staying the course? Are you dragging your feet into work every single day? You're the only person who has control to change that. Don't let fear of limitation, don't let doubt stop you from making that shift when you need to make that shift. You know, a moment will come in your life where you know, I'm not supposed to be here anymore. If you don't respond to that, that moment might pass, and then you sit in the seat of complacency. I want to encourage you, respond. Always respond, and even go before yourself asking the questions: do I still love it here? Am I still happy here? Am I still being stimulated? Am I still adding value? Am I still finding fulfillment? Because 9 to 5 is a very long time to spend just allowing yourself to waste away, where you could be pursuing something radical. Okay, the last one, number 6 for today, is your financial wellness. Are you well? This is the topic that least people like to talk about. Why? Because it's a secret thing. It's a secret thing, and you know what? When you're doing well and you're flourishing in it, you're able to just communicate your victory. But sometimes in this area where we live in a world that encourages us to live in credit, that encourages us to live beyond our means, that encourages us to seek instant gratification, the reality is what that results in your financial wellness is often a situation you don't want to find yourself in. Remember, you have an opportunity to face it head on, face it, fix it, get a better score in your dimension of wellness, financial wellness, and allow it to overflow in every area of your life where your finances no longer can make decisions for you, or you have the option to be the ostrich and just put your head under the sand. If I don't look, it doesn't matter. If I don't look, I did this for all too long. I was like, there was zero budget, zero planning, zero control, zero strategy. Then you're allowing something external to make decisions for you, to place controlling factor over your life, and you're no longer living in freedom. Okay, I'm going to have to wrap it up for today in just a moment. I hope every single one of you got a little bit of guidance or winning strategy. But last thing I want to encourage you to do is check in with yourself regularly. You can't list this once and go, interesting. There's more to me than just. No, you've got to go, how am I doing here? How am I doing here? Am I doing better? You know what? Sometimes when you do better here struggles and gets neglected and depreciates a little. But often when you're doing better here gets better, here gets better. All the dimensions affect each other, and eventually, what is the goal? The goal is to find a healthy balance that you can sustain, a healthy balance that you can just gradually mature and transform in. I know you've built a healthy foundation for your life. Last up, little quote to finish, and it doesn't get easier, you just get better at it. Discipline is the goal. We live in an ill-disciplined society. Discipline will make you rare. Discipline will increase your capacity. Discipline will make you confident and proud of who you are. Pursue discipline, and discipline is on the other side of discomfort. It involves doing the things that you don't feel like doing, but I know you can. I believe in you, and I believe that this is the beginning of your transformation. Thank you for sharing these few minutes with me, and I look forward to seeing you next week, same time, same place, and where we can keep growing together.